Hey Confetti Girls fans, my name's Elena and I'm here to show you how to make this really full, really festival styly, full halo flower crown. This will be perfect for festivals or weddings or festival style weddings, spring, summer, whenever you like. So let's get started.
You're going to need a glue gun and plenty of glue sticks. Some thicker wire, this is a 1.5mm thick, and some thinner wire that comes pre-cut, as well as some floristry tape. You're also going to need scissors. Don't use your best ones because they're going to have to cut through the wire. You also need, obviously, a bunch of fake flowers that are to your taste and to your colour scheme. I got these really inexpensively at B&M, but you can spend as much as you like to get the quality you want. Now you want to pull the heads off the flowers. Sounds violent, but it's kind of a necessary step. So you need to liberate all of these flower heads off their stems until you're left with a huge number of heads off their stems. Whee! Next you want to take the thickest wire that you've got and cut off enough to go round your head approximately twice. Now you want to be able to twist this together to make a halo. This will still be bendable so you can bend it to your head, but it'll be nice and sturdy. Once you've got this, you want to cut off a couple of lengths of this floristry tape, which is self-adhesive when it stretches, but what we want to do is just clip off enough to get us going in the next stage. Now it's time to get your hot glue gun out, and the little tin lid, by the way, is to catch any drips as I put it down. Not that I ever seem to put it where it should be to actually be helpful, but you'll find this will help you protect your surfaces. Now you want to get your thinnest wire and bend it in half so that you've got a loop at one end. Then you want to take your hot glue gun and one of your flowers and dribble some glue around the hole where the stem came out of, so both around and in the hole. And what you're going to do is you're going to get your wire loop and stick that inside the hole while gathering some of the glue. Now you may have seen some other methods where you just put some glue on the flower and glue it directly onto the halo wire, and that is one way of doing it, but generally speaking I find if you do that, the flowers are more prone to dropping off, whereas if you do this sort of wire loop system, you give it a bit more stability, and it does mean also that you can maneuver the flowers slightly once they're on the halo to be a bit closer to your liking, whereas if you glue it directly on, that's the position they're stuck in and you're not going to be able to move them. So you just want to repeat this for all of your flowers. If you want to join in some of the foliage that you've picked off your posy, you're going to want to use a very slightly different method to what you use for the flowers. You still get a wire loop and you wrap it around the centre of your foliage, or the end depending what it's shaped like, but you're not going to be able to get the same stability just poking it through the hole. So this is where your floristry tape comes in. So once you've got your wire wrapped around, you put a little glob of glue, again minding your fingers, and then you want to wrap the floristry tape carefully around where the wire and the foliage joins. Again, this means that you can maneuver it once it's on, and it's also very unlikely to fall off. And finally we come to the fun bit, actually assembling the flower crown. What you want to do, you get your flower and you wrap the wire around the halo in the position you want it. It's really very much as simple as that. You can either take the individual sides of the wire and wrap it in different directions, or just wrap it in the same direction, leaving a tiny bit of flexibility between the flower head and the halo, which again means that once you've got it on your head, you can play with the positioning a little bit. And you just want to do that until you've got all the flowers where you want them. For this one, I went for a really full style, didn't bother about making it too symmetrical, but you can do whatever takes your fancy. You can make it totally symmetrical, you can put the flowers more sparsely, you can have it really dense towards one side. The opportunities really are endless when it comes to DIYing. That's why DIYing is so great. Personally, I like to put all the flowers on before I start doing the foliage because they are kind of the focal point of your flower crown. So I got all of my flowers into place. Once you've got all your flowers where you want them, this is where you want to start sticking in your foliage. That can either be big leaves, which I've done before, or these little sort of herby, botanical looking bits that came off the posies that I bought. It's really also a really effective way of using up the most of the possible material that you have to hand. So you could have just thrown away the stems once you were done with them, but dismantling them and using these sort of leafy parts just adds some depth to your flower crown and makes it look a little more wild, if that's your thing. Now if you like the rustic look or you like metallics, you could leave it here, but what I like to do is finish it off with a bit more floristry tape. So you want to take the very end of the floristry tape and find somewhere where you can just stick that onto the crown with a little bit of hot glue. Like I said, floristry tape is self-adhesive if you stretch it, but I just like to make doubly sure that it's not going to shift and that it is going to stay where I put it. Once you've got that end secured, you want to get to work wrapping the floristry tape around the entirety of the crown, as well as the bases of all the flowers. Now this can be a bit tedious, but it's not difficult. You just got to go around and around and around and around until the entire base of the crown is covered. You can either use green floristry tape like I have, but it does come in a massive variety of colours, so you could do it to match your hair or to match the theme, or pretty much whatever you like. I just think green has a nice natural finish. Once you've finished with your wrapping, you can secure the end with a little bit more hot glue and just go around and double check that you've got all the metal covered where you'd like it to be covered and that there are no ends poking out that might get you in the head. And then you're finished.
So really that's all you need to get going with making flower crowns. Once you've got the technique down, you can do it to all different styles of hair accessory or even corsages. The technique is more or less the same. Now if you're not into DIY or you just don't have the time in the run up to your wedding, head over to my store at stxre.com and we'll see if I can sort you out with something ready-made or even custom work if you've got enough time. Thank you so much for having me on Confetti Girls. If you want to see more of me, let Helen and Kat know down in the comments, and have a lovely run up to your wedding. Bye.